I made this Ankara Bubu gown as a beginner. If you want something stylish and easy to sew, this one is the simplest gown you can make. So the materials we'll be needing for this project is your fabric, your scissors, your chalk, tape, and also your ruler. For my fabric, I'm making use of 2 yards. You can make use of three depending on how long you want it to be. So I went ahead to fold my fabric into four because I'm cutting both the back side and the front side together, no zipper allowance. So I went ahead to make my baseline. I took half an inch. So the next thing I did was to take my full length of the gown. The full length of my gown was supposed to be 59 inches, but I had just 48 inches. So I'm going to be adding something on that. Then I went ahead to mark out my shoulder to my waist, my shoulder to my hip line, and then I made a line across just like this, my hip line and my waist line. And then I came over to my hip line and I took my measurement, divided into four, and I added 5 inches of allowance since it's a bubble gown. Then I went over to the top and I marked my neck width, and then I marked my shoulder, divided into two. Since it's a cut together sleeve, I went ahead to determine how long I want my sleeve to be, and I decided it should be 14 inches. Then I made the mark there, and then I came down by 2 inches for the slope. After that, I'll be connecting the new line to my neck width, just like this. After that, I went ahead to make my round sleeve, how wide I want it to be. I marked out 8 inches, just like this, and then I connected it to the slope which I made on top, just like this. And then I went over to my waistline. Whatever I had on my hip, that's what I'm going to be using as my waist measurement, because it's a free bubble gown, it's not tight. So I had 16 inches. I'll be marking that 16 inches all the way through from the waistline to the top, the armhole, the chest line, and then I'm going to mark that same thing too at the bottom part. Then I connected it just like this. After I finished making the lines, I connected the lines like this. And then moving on, I came over to my armhole. I connected it like this, and I'm going to make a curve around that part just like this, as you're seeing me doing it like this. Make a clean curve around that part. So I went over, since my bubble gown has a pocket and it's a cut together pocket, so I came over to my waistline. I came down by 2 inches, and then I made a mark there. And then for the opening of the pocket, I made 6.5 inches opening, and then I drew my pocket just like this. After doing that, I made sure my hand fits in perfectly in the pocket, just like this, placing my palm on top of it, just like that, to check if it contains my whole palm, and it did quite all right. So I went ahead to mark out the 16 inches just the way I did for the waist. Now I'm going to do that for the gown length as well. Mark that my 16 inches, and then I'm going to join the lines, making it straight. Yes, just like this. Moving on, I went ahead to determine how deep my neck depth will be, and I decided to make it 8 inches. Then I connected it to my neck width, but I did not
make my tape straight, I had to slant my tape just to determine how deep I want it to be. And then of course I went ahead to mark out my back neck depth, which is deeper than the front neck depth. And then I used my ruler to connect the two lines to the neck width, just like this. After which I went to the tip of my shoulder and I added my sewing allowance, my joining allowance for the shoulder. And then I went ahead to cut it out. I'm not cutting out the back neckline, I'm cutting out the front neckline first. Then later on I'll go ahead to cut out the back neckline. I cut out my shoulder and then the other parts too, just like this. So afterwards, I removed my front piece from the back piece and then I cut out my back neckline just like this. So I've gone ahead to add that bottom part which I said I was going to join something to. And then the next thing I'll do is to cut out that choker at the back side of my neckline. And this is how it is. And I went ahead also to pin it down and I left ½ inch of allowance on the top part of the choker. So that's what I'm going to be sewing along. And then I went ahead to cut out my facing and sew it on. This is how it looks like after I finish sewing it on.
Enjoying this video so far? Give us a thumbs up, share the video, and if it's your first time here, subscribe and hit the notification bell.
In this channel, we post weekly videos on beginner friendly sewings. This is how it's looking like. Then the next thing I will do is I'll take my front piece and I'm going to face the neckline, put a facing on the neckline, and then I'm going to join it to the back piece.
And this is how it is looking like after I finished putting the facing for the front neckline. I went ahead to sew along the shoulder parts just like this. Then the next thing I'll do is I'll take it to my weaving machine and I'll weave, and then I'm going to fold in my sleeve after I finish weaving just like this, and I'll sew along. I'll do the same thing for the other side as well. And this is it after I finished sewing, I finished weaving, and I went ahead to join the sides, weave the pocket, and this is how it is looking, very neat. So the next thing I'll do is to hem my bottom part. I went ahead to hem my bottom part using ½ inch of allowance. And this is it, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next one. Bye, guys.